Outdoor entertaining with friends and family is always so much fun. The sharing of laughter, sharing of food and refreshments. Speaking of refreshments, I want to show you how to create a DIY citrus-inspired serving tray. What you'll need for this project is the following: a router, a power drill, a sander, a piece of plywood, paintbrushes, acrylic paint, 2 cabinet handles, a measuring tape and pencil. When it comes to our DIY tray, we think of citruses, we generally think round, so the shape of our tray is going to be circular. And we're going to do that with a router, but if you don't have a router, you can do it with a jigsaw. Let's look at the router. Guys, when you're dealing with a router, the #1 safety tip is always leave the router unplugged when you're dealing with the collet and inserting the router bit. So, here we go. We're using a straight router bit in this cut, and it's inserted in the collet there, ready to go. It's unplugged. And what I'm also going to do is use this accessory here, because that's going to really help with the circle cutting. And you always put it in your router to the left, because you want the trigger side where the power is in your right hand. And another thing is always make sure that the tip is facing downwards. Now we want to determine the size of our circle of the tray, okay? So think of the radius and diameter. I know we're going to maths, but it's important. The radius is half the diameter, so think of that. I want my tray at about 460, so I'm going to measure 230 millimeters radius. How you do that? Grab your measuring tape. You measure from the tip of your router bit all the way to the tip of the guide. And then what you do is you can move it before securing it, and that is at 230 millimeters. And then you tighten these knobs over here to hold it in place. With that all secure, now we can look at our board. I need to find the center of the board because that is the center of our circle. So let's measure it out. It's 60 centimeters or 600 millimeters. And that is a 30 over there. And then we find the other 30 over here. Right. Now what we're going to do is I've inserted a 4mm drill bit into my power drill, and I'm just going to drill a guide hole. Okay, so the center point is now drilled, and let me show you how this fits in. There's a point here at the bottom of the guide. You find the point of the wood. That slots in, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut in increments, because you can't cut through an 18mm plywood in one go with a router. So here are the increments here in millimeters, but we're going to start from the top. Guys, when I put this on, remember to plunge it to that level. It's going to stop, gather full speed, and then you move in circular motion like this, and then you come back just to clean out the wood and carry on in increments until you're finally cut through the whole piece of wood. Remember guys, it's a good idea to use scrap pieces of wood to lift the project off the table so you don't cut into your work surface. Look at that, a perfect circle, but what isn't perfect is the surface of this plywood. So we're going to smooth it down using a medium grit sandpaper in our multi-sander. There we go, it's all wiped and it's ready for the painting stage, which is the fun stage. Now, if you're not an artist, you can look at pictures from the internet for references on how fruit should look. I'm going to go in with the green and the white representing a lime. You can use yellow for lemons and so on. So we've got a little bit of a paint tray here and some various paintbrushes that we are going to use to decorate our serving tray.
To paint the project, I'm making use of water-based craft paint. It has a thick consistency and covers the wood in 2 coats. Then onto some citrus color. For the detail work, I like to use a sponge brush as it allows me to create a neat edge.
Okay, so I'm happy with the border and how this tray is looking. Next, I'm going to mix a bit of this green with the white to make it a lighter shade. And I'm going to find the center of our tray here just to help with my freehand drawing skills. And then make light pencil marks and then go in and finish the interior.
A handy tip for mixing paint is to use muffin trays. Talk about recycling. For the wedges, I am again making use of a sponge brush. Start with the outline and fill in with the color. Perfection is in the eye of the beholder.
And look at that, it's nearly done. I had a lot of fun painting this. So bright and cheerful. Next is we're going to put the handles on either side for our serving tray. These are just regular cabinet handles. And here's a little trick for drilling in the holes and getting the measurement perfect. I'm going to hold this piece of paper here and I'm going to pierce a hole where the screw will screw into the handle. Then I'll drill where these two holes are. A good idea for the last step is to put a bit of a sheen to the tray and seal it with a clear sealer or a bit of wax. Keeping the refreshments cool is a must, so why not put them in the pool? Here is a DIY hack using a plastic container and a pool spaghetti. It's that easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure out the sides of our container. This is 22 centimeters and this side is 38, and we're going to cut pool spaghetti into sections that match that too on either side of our container. Okay, that was satisfying and easy enough. The next step is we're going to run some sash cord through the middle of the pool spaghetti over here, and then we're going to tie a knot at the end and pull it really tight to hopefully float our cool drinks while we chill and relax.
Remember guys, pool spaghettis come in many colors and are inexpensive. So grab an array of colors and bring summer into your project.
How nifty is this? I can't wait to try it out.